Welcome to Mastery of Writing the Personal Narrative. Lesson 7, Video 1. In this lecture, we are going to talk about writing the first draft of your personal narrative. We will discuss how to write a first draft quickly using either a pen or a keyboard. As you watch this video, look for the techniques that writers use to write a first draft. Make sure you take good notes. As with every video, at the end, you will be asked to submit a question for inquiry. By the end of this lecture, you will know about the techniques writers use to help them write a first draft. Once you watch this lecture, you'll be ready to write your first draft. There's several ways that your instructor might help you. You don't want to spend the whole class period staring at a blank piece of paper, so be prepared. Watch this video and watch it again if you don't understand everything the first time. Are you ready? Basically, writing a first draft is very straightforward. You just write. There are a few foundational items a writer puts in place, though, before he or she just writes. These items include a pre-write activity, a sentence that explains what changed as a result of this experience, and a sentence that explains the importance of this story. You've already done a pre-writing activity. You worked on your idea. You planned for character, setting, and chronology. In Lesson 4, Video 1, I ask you to tell a story that has the potential to influence or affect someone who reads it. In that same lesson, I also ask you to consider why your story is important. You will now write a sentence that explains the importance of your story, and another sentence that states how your story could help someone who reads it. These two sentences are connected to each other, aren't they? Make sure you have your plans with you for the next class. You can write out your two sentences before class, or you can wait and get help from your instructor or your classmates. You will be writing your first draft, so writing out an answer to these questions the best that you can will help you. You will write your first draft without stopping. You will write quickly, but not in haste. You know your story. You've worked hard preparing your story. Now throw caution to the wind. Write dangerously. Don't worry about getting it exactly perfect. Just write. Give yourself the freedom to write your story without judging it. Write with the fury of a winter storm. But sometimes a problem rears its ugly head when a writer sits down to write that first draft. Sometimes a writer will get stuck despite all the work that he or she has done. It's called writer's block. Have you heard of it? It's something every writer experiences from time to time, and it could happen to you. But don't let it win. Don't let writer's block take you out. Deal with it and get your first draft down. Let's look at a few symptoms and cures for writer's block. Let's say you're stuck. Let's say you're stuck because you have not done any of the preliminary work. What's the cure? Do the work. The most common cause of writer's block is procrastination. Some symptoms of writer's block, however, are not caused by procrastination. Writer's block often shows up as anxiety and stress, and anxiety can stop the writing process at any point. And sometimes a writer will do everything necessary in preparation for writing the first draft and still come down with a case of writer's block. Part of the anxiety that causes writer's block is stress, like I said. There are many ways stress can show up and mess up that first draft. I'm going to address one stressor common to some writers. Sometimes a writer is self-conscious about his or her ability to write. Unbearable self-consciousness can create a sense of embarrassment that makes it hard, almost impossible for a writer to even start a first draft. And if this is true for you, I first want you to know that I do understand your situation. I know how frustrating it can be to have that desire to succeed and that dread of self-doubt churning inside you at the same time. There are some steps you can take that could help you get your pencil moving. First of all, acknowledge that you feel uncomfortable and don't judge yourself harshly for your discomfort. Let yourself feel the discomfort. And to tell you the truth, if you can start from this point, your discomfort, you will have a brilliant first draft when you're done. You know why? Because you're not the only one who suffers from self-consciousness. If you can somehow include your discomfort in your essay, you are stating a truth that will resonate with many people who have the same problem. You can also help yourself by making sure you follow all the steps we've discussed in these lectures. And there's one more thing you can do about any discomfort you have about your ability to write. Write something. Don't give in to your ill feelings. Don't let them win. Force yourself to get something down on paper for your first draft. There's only one way your instructor can't help you. A writing instructor cannot help a writer who has a blank piece of paper and a pen that doesn't move. You have an amazing story to tell. Remember,
work hard and have fun.